Hey y'all, what's up? What's up? What's up? Y'all, what in the Sam Hill is going on? Y'all, look at my shirt. Hold on. Y'all, bear with me. Y'all, look at my shirt. Okay, there we go. Hey guys, what's up? What's up? It's your girl, Shawn Taylor. Listen, I'm going to be real honest with you. I'm going to be real frank with you. Today has been a day. And so you're going to get it how I live, right? You're going to get it with the mom bun on top of the head. You're going to get it with the frizzy hair. You're going to get it with the glasses and no contacts. You're going to get it with no makeup, right? You are going to get it how I live. If you're coming on, say, hey, what's up? Let me know that you're here. Hey, Kimberly. No, it's not your eyesight. Hashtag guru click. No, it's not your eyesight, fam. No, there's just a bunch going on, y'all. This is real life, okay? So typically I have my screen up so you can't see what had happened and what's going on. But what you will see is the mayhem that is my life. I'm in my office right now. We have several different sections. Guys, let me know that you can hear me, right? Because y'all, I went live last week to announce the giveaway. The winner went live, had this whole conversation apparently with myself, and nobody could hear me. So do me a favor, give me a thumbs up or something in the comments and let me know that you can hear me, right? Let me know that you're there. So anyway, this is my home office. There is a mess behind me. Judge me not, but this is true life, okay? So back here, okay, other side, back here, okay, is basically miscellaneous kind of school stuff back in this area right here. You will see an air fryer. Let me go right there. There are school supplies on the desk, including a laptop, a vase. Like there's stuff randomly on the desk, okay? And then right here, let me try to get to it. Over here is some other stuff, right? Ironing board, the Chromebook, all that good stuff. Like this is real life, okay? And then right here on this side is business stuff for our catering, okay? So y'all are getting real life. It is what it is, okay? So judge me not. Listen, I just wanted to give you the real deal, okay? So thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate you guys. I wanted to come back to you. Thank you so much, Kimberly. Kimberly says we can hear you. I wanted to come back and do the Q&As that I used to do. I used to do them on Tuesdays and Thursdays, but I want to go ahead and come back. Wednesdays and Mondays are typically better for me. So I'm going to go back and start doing those. So again, this is your live Q&A, whatever questions you have concerning homeschooling. For us, thank you so much, Tell a Story. I appreciate you. It's been a long time. So we are back in school. So if you're following me or if you know what's going on, y'all, hold on, I'm seeing something. I thought I saw something. If you have been following me, then you know that we school year round. We typically take a break every 6 to 8 weeks in our school week or whatever. And so we have taken our break for the first, so we started in July. And our first break was last week. So we took a whole week off. I took an opportunity to plan, do all their lessons for the next 6 weeks, reevaluate some curriculum. We started using some new curriculum in our house, and it gave me an opportunity to reevaluate it, like actually look and dig into it and see if it was something that we still wanted to use. And because if you know me by now, I don't typically have my kids write in the books because the goal is to resell what I have. And the reason why, again, is because curriculum is expensive. And I don't want to waste that money. So what I typically do is maybe make copies, or they write on a notebook. They don't write in the actual book. And that's because during this first few 6 weeks, when we're trying out curriculum to see if it works, then if it's not working, I can send it back and get my refund. Okay. And basically it's gently cared for. Like, I'm like, don't bend that page. Don't do that. Put it on the shelf. So it's gently used. So there's some curriculum that we are sending back. We are sending back some. Sorry guys. We're sending back some. Okay. Y'all. We are sending back some master books curriculum, the grammar curriculum, because I didn't like how that was. And we are sending back something else. Oh, math. I got a math book from Master Books as well, the Principles of Math or something that I wanted to try for my daughter and some other stuff. And it just wasn't like, I think the goal of it was for you to use it as like life math, like why you use it or what you would need it for type situation is what I think it was. And it just didn't fit our needs. It didn't fit what we needed to do or what was going on or something like that. So I'll put it like that. Okay. So that's the deal with that. Okay. Now I'm going to talk to you, right? I'm just going to randomly talk. I'm going to be on here until 5:30. If you have questions, put them in the comments and I will answer them as much as possible. Instagram, unfortunately, I cannot put you in the live feed to answer them that way. So I'm going to have to look at my phone to do yours. But Facebook and YouTube, you guys, I have you in the comments. So just ask the questions, okay? But in the meantime, I'm just going to talk, okay? So whatever questions you have, just ask. You got me for 30 minutes, okay? So anyway, we sent back the math books because it just wasn't, I'm trying to be nice. Like I'm trying to be nice. It wasn't, I don't know how to be nice. There was just a lot of unnecessary. How about that? A lot that was unnecessary. And so I sent that back. I'm sending that back. So that's what I did in that 6 weeks. So I reevaluated. And the way that I evaluate the curriculum is, of course, when I was teaching it or going over it with my kids, how I felt when I was doing it with the kids. Like if I felt like I could, if I felt like I could teach it easily, or if I felt like I could, if I can understand it enough or break it down enough, because a lot of the stuff that we teach, I try to teach to all three kids. My youngest is 11. My oldest is 17, though. And certain things I need to be able to teach on her level, but also teach on his level. And so if I was able to understand it and portray it and give them the information that they needed in that moment, then it worked out great. But if I was not able to do so, then it didn't happen. Okay. Like it just didn't happen. And so for master books, it was a lot of me having to do back and forth. It was a lot of, it just was too much for me. It was boring. The math was boring and it was just too much for me. So we decided not to do that. So I'm sending that back. And again, so that's way that I test if it's working. If I teach it, I understand it and I can, portray it to my kids so that they understand it. So that's number one. Number two is I check the kids' work. So if I'm checking the kids' work and they are like, I'm kind of watching them through the week. And if they're struggling to understand it, or can you please close that door? I'm live. And yeah. And you're in your pajamas, ma'am.
I thought the little thingy would be behind you.
No, and I'm live. I sent you a text message and said I'm live, and you're still talking.
I need to do my schoolwork.
Sweetheart, I understand that. Can you come maybe around this way, not that way? That's why I sent you the text message, right? That I communicated what I needed in this moment. Y'all, this is real life. This is real life. Every time I go live, hey, Erica, I send a message to all of my family members and say, hey, I'm going live. I need this. I need quiet, or I need this. I need that. This is real life, okay? So anyway, back to what I was saying. So to check and see if a curriculum is working for our family, I check and see if I can teach it and my kids understand. Okay, that's the first thing, right? Hey, Leticia. Hey, Michelle. The second thing I do is I see how the kids are doing with it. So as far as independent work, are they able to do it independently? Like, is that an option? Or are they needing more one-on-one time for me? That's the type of stuff I'm looking for. When they're doing their lessons, are they able to understand the lesson without me sitting there and breaking it down? Now, to be honest with you, for my 11 and 15-year-old, I expect on certain things that I will have to sit with them a little bit more, especially if it's a new curriculum and it's going to take them a minute to get used to it. If it is my 17-year-old, I expect not to sit with her at all. And the reason why is because she's extremely independent. Like, she has no time for mom at this point. She just wants to get it done. And so with that said, if I'm having to spend a lot of time explaining it to her, then it's not a good fit for her. If I'm having to spend a little bit of time with my kids, my boys, my boy, my 15-year-old and my 11-year-old, then it might be okay. Even if I'm spending like a little bit more, it's still okay. but I shouldn't have to sit with them and walk step by step on every single thing. That's one way that I tell that the curriculum is not fitting our family. Okay. And so after I've done that, then I look at the actual lessons. Okay. What are they getting on the scores? So say, for instance, we were using study.com for some things. And what I noticed is my kids do take tests. Okay. We call them end of 6 weeks. Well, we call them end of quarter, but it's not really end of quarter, but end of 6 weeks tests, right? And so I go back through whatever chapters they studied for that 6 weeks. And I think like for one of the classes, they had done 4 chapters. And so the test was 1 through 4. And I could tell based off of their score on those quizzes that they were not understanding the concept as well as I thought that they were. So they were understanding it enough to pass the weekly quiz. They were understanding enough to get it done. But when it came back down to the end and remembering what needed to be done, they weren't understanding it. And so for me, that was a no. And what I found with study.com, and this is not to bash study.com, I'm not saying they're terrible or anything like that. But what I found with study.com is they go so quickly that it's difficult for the child to grasp the concept. So, and what I say is, it's like lesson 1 is concept, right? And then you do the lesson. It's like 5 or 6. The video is like 5 to 7 minutes. And then you scooch over and there is a quiz that has 5 questions on it. Okay. Once you do those 5 questions and you pass that, you go to the next lesson. Well, the next lesson is completely different from the lesson you just did. So it's not even a combination or a compounding information. So it's not like, okay, now that you have gotten part A, let's go to part B using part A. It's not that. It's like, okay, now that you have gotten part A, let's move all the way down to part D. Like you skip and go to a whole nother lesson. And that's not necessarily how my kids function. It's too much information. So basically, to say it the least, they are getting brand new information every single day on study.com. So lesson 1, lesson 2, lesson 3, if they do 3 lessons in a day, because the lessons are so short, they were doing 2 to 3 lessons in a day. And if they're doing 3 lessons a day, each video is 5 to 7 minutes, and then they have 5 questions. They are literally moving from lesson to lesson to lesson. There is no making sure that they understood the first lesson. It goes straight to the next lesson to the next lesson. So that's how study.com works for the people that are interested in it. And it may be okay for you, right? That may work for your family. But for us, I knew right off the bat that my kids were that wasn't going to be good for them because they weren't going to remember. And it was proof. I was like, well, let's try it and see. So we did that, and we did our end of the 6 weeks test, and they didn't bomb them, but like my high schooler, in one particular class that she enjoyed, I expected her to do a lot better, and she didn't. And then my boys in one particular class that has a lot of information, they didn't do so well, right? And so that's an interesting thing that I needed to check. So again, I'm talking about different ways to determine maybe a curriculum is not working for you. Again, guys, this is live Q&A. I can talk about homeschooling. Y'all been with me long enough, you know that. So I'll keep talking. That's not an issue. But if you have questions, this is your chance to answer. I will be here until 5:30, and then I got to go be a mom or whatever. No, I'm joking. But then I got to go take care of my family. So I've got to reserve that time. But I have reserved this time especially for you right now. So again, you have me for 30 minutes. You can ask whatever question that you have pertaining to homeschool. So after we have done that, right? Okay. So I have decided whether it works or not. And then I go through and plan. And I actually plan at 6 weeks at a time. So when we're off on that 1 week, I spend that 1 week planning for the entire 6 weeks. So we have 6 weeks worth of lessons right now. And what that will be, there are some things where we go back to what we learned previously because I know they didn't understand. There are some things where we're moving forward, okay? And that's just a decision that you have to make, okay? Let's see. Michelle says, yeah, it didn't work for my now 8th grader. He has combined ADHD, and study.com didn't work out for him. Yeah, study.com is a lot, and it's a good resource. If I had to say anything about it, it's a good supplement, okay? It's a good help. It's a good assistant. It's good at teaching or adding on to, but I wouldn't use it as a curriculum. Like it just moves on too quickly and too much, okay? Hey, Kelly. Kelly says, what do you use for yearly assessments? Okay, so Kelly, I don't do yearly assessments in my house, but there are several different things that you have. I know that you're in our group. I think that you're newly into our group, but if you go in there and you type testing in there, there are some tests that you can use. Another trick that you can do that a lot of people don't think about is, you know how you go onto the websites to take a test to determine where your child is? Right? So you go on the test to determine where they are, so you know what level of curriculum to purchase. What you can do is, okay, and I've done this before, okay, what you can do is have them take the assessment in the very beginning, okay? Then at the end of the school year, have them take the exact same assessment and then compare the two. So you should be able to see, well, they improved here, but they didn't improve there, and we probably need to go back over it. But Kelly, go in the group. There are some tabs or some posts in there about that. And let me know if you don't find it. I will try to find them today and also tag you in them as well. Kristen says, any idea for kiddos with short attention spans? So something that you don't know about me is that all three of my kids are affected with attention issues. They struggle big time. Okay. So for my teenager, we ended up having to do another option. We ended up having to do medicine. Okay. Because it was too much there. She wasn't grasping what she needed to. So we ended up doing that. For my older boys, we take breaks. So again, we say, if you get this 15 minutes done, if you get this 30 minutes done, then you can move on. There are times that I do have to sit there and remind them. The youngest one today got in trouble because he completely got distracted and started watching soccer videos. And so he had a consequence, which he knew of, which was, you waste my time, then you give me some of your time. So his responsibility today, he just finished actually, was after he finished his schoolwork, he owed me 30 minutes of time. And so what he did for 30 minutes was, there was some stuff back here. He went and organized it and went and did all that stuff. He lost his free time. And that's just a part of what we do here, because I know they struggle, but I ask for 15 minutes. And I do understand that there are issues in focusing, but I do believe that my children can give me 15 minutes at a time. I don't think that's too much to ask for. Rebel Mom says, so you don't have to use the curriculum if you don't, is that unschooling? Oh, okay. So I think she's asking, you don't have to use a curriculum if you don't want to. Yeah, you don't have to use curriculum if you don't want to. Unschooling is basically child-led, Rebel Mom. So basically that's what that is basically you're saying, sweetheart, what would you like to learn? And then you're providing all the resources and all that good stuff for them to learn. So that's probably the easiest or the best way to think of that, Rebel Mom. All right. Kelly says, sounds good. Okay, Kelly. So do me a favor, go in the group. If you can't find it, let me know, and I will try to remember to tag you in some as I'm moving around this evening. But again, that is a super easy trick. A lot of people don't think about, a lot of people worry about assessments, end of the year assessments. We don't do end of the year assessments, right? But if you wanted to do end of the year assessments, there are several different options that you can do as far as that's concerned, right? So you could, again, there are some in the group. You could purchase some. You could, and I'm trying to resist the urge of looking for them right now. Typically, I would jump on and look for them right now. But you could also, again, those curriculums that you're using. So like Master Books, I know for a fact gives you, especially in math, they give you placement testing. So you could do the placement testing, right? Start off in the beginning with the placement testing. I just want to see where you are, child. That's it. Mama just wants to see what level you're on. Go have them take the test, grade it. It'll tell you what book that they need to use based off of where they are in that space. Then you teach whatever you're going to teach for the entire year. And you don't even necessarily have to use their curriculum. But the tricky part about that is that if you don't use their curriculum and you use someone else's, then it may not teach what they're teaching at that level. So that I would be cognizant of that. So if you are going to, if you're going to use their assessments, then I would be cautious of that, because again, Master Books is not going to teach the same thing that Learn Math Fast is, if that makes sense. Okay. So whatever curriculum you're going to use, you use that assessment. Where are you? I just want to see what level you are, what level you're on. Get them to figure it out. You go through there, figure out what level they're on. You teach that entire school year, 6 months, whatever it is you want to do, then have them retake the exact same test, and you'll be able to tell whether or not they have improved in the last year. That's just a trick without you having to pay for a bunch of testing or all that good stuff. You're welcome, Rebel Mom. Y'all hear my kid? He's back there cleaning the kitchen. See, y'all, this is real life, like real life, real talk. So again, it's your girl Shawn with live Q&A. I will be here every Monday, every Wednesday at 5 p.m. Central Standard Time to answer your homeschooling questions, to help you out in these homeschool streets. All you have to do is show up and ask the questions. And listen, I cautious you. I'm not going to cautious you. I said that wrong. Okay. But I want you to ask these questions, even if you think that they are the dumbest question in the world. And the reason why is because 9 times out of 10, somebody out there has the exact same question that you have. They're not quite sure how to ask it, or they're thinking that they're dumb, or they're thinking that they're the only ones, something to that effect, or the only one, something to that effect. Okay. So if you have a question, ask it, even if you think it's stupid, even if you've heard me answer it 500 times, but you can't remember how I answered it. Ask it anyway. Okay. Y'all got me for 6 more minutes. Does anybody else have any more questions? Hopefully everybody is having an absolutely wonderful school day. We had a rough one, to be very honest with you. I have a kid that does not like to get out of bed. And then when he got out of bed, he dragged his behind the entire time, which made it miserable for everyone else. And then I had to leave for a meeting and come back. And when I came back, some stuff was not done. So we ended up having somewhat of a late evening. So again, this is Shawn. If you have any homeschooling questions, we talked about how to check or the assessments. We talked about how to determine whether or not the curriculum is working for you and your family. If it's time to switch. We talked about attention issues. We talked about Study.com, right? We talked about how Study.com is a good supplement, but it is not a curriculum. I'm going to be very honest with you. And I had high hopes for it. Partly because, hold on one second. Partly because myself, I don't want to say I'm tired of teaching, but I'm tired of teaching. I am tired of, I don't want to say I'm tired of teaching, but I am. I'm tired of teaching, right? I'm tired of sitting there going over the information. Sometimes I want them to do an independent work, and it's important in a moment that, I have to give them time. And don't get me wrong, I'm just being honest and transparent with you, right? But yeah, there are times that I don't want to teach them, and I want to be able to say, here, go do this, and then come back. And I thought Study.com was going to be that for me, and I'm learning that that's not the case. My glasses are lopsided. I can see it in the camera. Help me, Father. ADHD in the works right there. Okay. If you have any questions, again, you are more than welcome to ask. It is 5:26. You've got me for 4 more minutes. That is all you guys have for me today. Nothing else? Nothing else, huh? Listen, I'm not going to stay on here long, y'all. I told you got me till 5:30, and then I'm going to jump off of here and be a mother or whatever that means in this moment right now, right? I love my kids. I promise y'all I do. Mothering is hard, and I'm not going to say nobody talks about that, but mothering is hard, and sometimes you don't want to, right? You want a break. All right, y'all, listen, it is 5:27. I have nothing else to discuss with you. What I want you to do is do me a favor, okay? I'm out here in these homeschool streets. I am doing the work. I'm writing the books. I'm doing the coaching sessions. I'm going live. I'm posting tips and tricks and hints and all that good stuff. Share your girl's work, okay? Share. I need everybody on here. There are 11 people in here. If you can't share, tag somebody in here that you think will need this information. But do me a favor, share to all the groups, share on your page. Let's get some people in here, because the fact of the matter is that people still have tons of questions about homeschooling, but aren't quite sure where to go or who they need to talk to, right? Your girl's here. I'm here to help, okay? Y'all, listen, I'm not going to stay on here. Y'all not asking questions. I'm good. I'm gonna peace out. Y'all have an absolutely wonderful evening. Please do me a favor again, share, like, comment. Let's get some people in here. You guys have an absolutely wonderful, blessed Monday, and I will see y'all again live on Wednesday at 5 p.m. Central Standard Time. Bye, guys.